I hope you didn't think that it's going to be this easy. Let's make it just a little bit more interesting. To make it just a little bit more complicated for you, not all verbs in the German language will use the auxiliary verb haben to form the past tense. Some of them, a small group, will use the auxiliary verb sein, to be. I'm sorry to inform you, but this is again one of those things that you just have to learn by heart. Like I mentioned before, the best thing is to learn it together with the verb. But there are some vague rules that you can follow. In general, most of the verbs that indicate some kind of movement, meaning going from point A to point B, will use the auxiliary verb sein to form the past tense. Let's check out some examples. Letztes Jahr bin ich nach China gereist. Ich bin zu spät zur Vorlesung gekommen. Er ist nach der Party nach Hause gegangen. Wir sind stundenlang im Wald gewandert. You see, these verbs tell us that something moved from point A to point B, to China, to the lecture, or straight home. But it's not something you can 100% rely to, because for example the verb bleiben means to stay, but also forms the perfect with sein. Ich bin zu Hause geblieben. Like I said, take these rules with a grain of salt and always make sure to check and learn the correct conjugation. Here is a quick overview of some of the verbs we learned that will build the past with sein. Kommen ist gekommen. Gehen ist gegangen. Fahren ist gefahren. Reisen ist gereist. You see here that not all of them have to be irregular verbs. Reisen, for example, is a regular verb that forms the past with the auxiliary verb sein. Let's take a look at a few more example sentences. Der Kellner ist endlich gekommen. Ich bin zum Zahnarzt gegangen. Die Polizisten sind zum Tatort gefahren. Die Geschäftsfrau ist nach China gereist. Die Krankenschwester ist mit dem Patienten geblieben. Luckily, only a minority of the verbs will use the auxiliary verb sein, so it shouldn't be too difficult to remember a few that you will use. There are some verbs in German that can build the past tense with both auxiliary verbs, haben and sein. In this case, the two different forms will also have different meanings. For example, if you say, Ich bin nach Berlin gefahren, it means that you went to Berlin, not necessarily that you drove there. It could have been by bus as well. But if you say, Ich habe den Bus gefahren, it definitely means that you drove the bus. Another such verb is schwimmen, to swim. You can say, Ich habe im Schwimmbad geschwommen, which means that you went for a swim at the pool. But if you say, Ich bin zur Insel geschwommen, you swam all the way to the island. In this case, you moved from point A to point B by swimming, and the past will be formed with sein.